Shocking news has surfaced from the world of K-pop, which is never free from the spotlight. Kim Taehyung, better known as V from BTS, is now facing the possibility of a more severe punishment, even dismissal, due to a violation involving his close friend, Jungkook. The drama began after Jungkook was rushed to the hospital due to a serious food poisoning incident while undergoing his mandatory military service. However, what left the public even more stunned was V's reckless action of violating military ethics to visit Jungkook. But did V really violate the rules just for his friend? Is this violation enough to end his military career? Let's explore the situation in greater detail. The incident started a few weeks ago when Jungkook was suddenly rushed to the hospital after suffering from severe food poisoning. As we all know, the BTS members are currently undergoing their mandatory military service in South Korea, which requires them to undergo training and perform military duties for an extended period. While many perceive the BTS members as idols who are always cheerful and healthy, they are not immune to health issues that can arise at any time. According to several reports from sources close to the military, Jungkook was taken to the hospital after complaining of severe nausea, vomiting, and dizziness. The doctors confirmed that he was suffering from food poisoning that was quite serious. Other sources stated that Jungkook's condition was critical on the first day, requiring intensive care to stabilize his condition. However, it was Jungkook's deteriorating condition that became the turning point for everything. Of course, the other BTS members who were also serving in the military were anxious and worried, especially V, who is very close to Jungkook. Many have said that the bond between the two is so strong that they are like brothers. After hearing the news about Jungkook's condition, V was reportedly in a state of panic. Reports indicate that he could not contain his emotions and immediately sought a way to visit his friend in the hospital, even though he knew this was against the rules. As a soldier, V was supposed to remain at his post and was not allowed to leave without official permission from his superiors. However, V's fear and concern for Jungkook led him to decide to go to the hospital without prior approval. A source close to V revealed that he even went so far as to defy authority to meet Jungkook. For V, his friend means everything. He couldn't just sit by and let Jungkook suffer in that condition, said the source. Unfortunately, this decision created a huge problem for V. The military authorities, upon learning that V had left his post without permission, began an investigation and found that V had violated several important regulations in the South Korean military. According to information from various sources, V should have only left his post if he had received emergency leave from his superiors. Following the incident, several other BTS members began speaking out. RM, Jin, and Jimin expressed their concerns over the punishment V might face. We all understand how much V cares for Jungkook, but we also know how strict military rules are. This is a big dilemma, and we hope there is some wisdom in the decision-making process, said RM in a brief interview. Jin also commented, "We know that V is very close to Jungkook, but we also know how important it is to follow the rules in the military. This is a big dilemma, and we hope there is some wisdom in the decision-making process." However, despite the understanding expressed by other BTS members and the sympathy from fans, the military still had to follow through with the violation. Reports indicate that there is a possibility that V could be dismissed from the military if the violation is deemed severe enough. Meanwhile, Jungkook, who is still recovering from the food poisoning incident in the hospital, is reportedly feeling extremely guilty upon hearing that his friend, V, is being punished for breaking the rules just to visit him. According to reports from sources close to Jungkook, he feels extremely burdened and regrets the situation. Jungkook is very concerned about V. He feels like V shouldn't have been punished for this. He feels really guilty, said the source. In fact, some other reports claim that Jungkook has made several attempts to request a lighter punishment for V, hoping that his friend would not lose his military career just because of a compassionate action. Many fans believe that V's action was a humane gesture and should be appreciated as a true expression of friendship. V just wanted to help his sick friend. What's more important than that? wrote one ARMY fan on Twitter. Some fans also started an online petition to support V and asked the military to reconsider their decision. As the pressure from fans increased, many hoped that the punishment could be overturned or at least reduced. Currently, the South Korean military is still conducting further investigations into the incident. However, they have made it clear that V will still face consequences for the violation he committed. On the other hand, some believe that dismissing V from the military would have a negative impact, not only on him personally, but also on the image of the South Korean military, which would appear too rigid in dealing with a soldier who was simply carrying out a compassionate act. Since the first report surfaced about BTS breaking military ethics to visit Jungkook in the hospital, many fans and media outlets have reacted emotionally. BTS's ARMY quickly showed their sympathy for V, while others expressed their concern about the punishment V might face. But before we get too swept up in emotions, are we really sure that everything we've read and heard is the truth? Or is this just a sensational story designed to attract media attention? Let's take a moment to think more critically and dig deeper into the accuracy of this news. As we know, the entertainment world often presents dramatic health stories involving idols to attract attention from the media and fans. Could it be that this event is just made up to create sensational drama and gain more attention? The incident may very well be real, but we cannot ignore the possibility that the details of the story have been exaggerated for certain purposes. Every news story we come across should be questioned for its accuracy and intention. In today's fast-paced digital world, fake news and unverified information can spread easily. Some media outlets or specific accounts might create dramatic and controversial stories to attract more clicks and attention from readers. So, how can we distinguish between what is true and what is fabricated? How can we be sure that the information we are receiving is not a hoax created for sensational purposes? Is it really possible that the military would punish V so severely? Or is this news just fabricated by the media seeking attention from the public? We must recognize that sometimes such stories may be deliberate tactics to draw the public's attention, rather than true events. In the world of entertainment and media, a news story can be twisted to serve commercial purposes. If this story is truly sensational and capable of shaking the public, then the media will undoubtedly gain more attention and readers. That's the main goal that cannot be overlooked. However, as consumers of news, we must be more careful and not easily fall into the narratives created by the media. Before we react emotionally and share a story, we must make sure that what we are reading is based on facts. What we are reading could be a fabrication or a story that has been exaggerated for specific purposes. As we've seen from BTS fans' reactions on social media, many immediately offered support for V without further questioning the truth of this news. The hashtag Justice for V quickly went viral, and many fans called for the military to reduce the punishment V faced. When reading news or articles, we must always be cautious and not believe everything at face value. In today's information age, it's very easy to be misled by unverified news. Before we share or react emotionally, it's a good idea to think critically and question its truth. So, what do you think? Do you believe this incident? Or do you think it's just a fabrication to grab attention? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss it together.